Tej has a couple of gripes, a couple of updates. I think some of us, now that we're on season 2, episode 7, have, some things to say, but this is what we watch Wednesday. I want to start off by saying this. Please stop leaking episodes. Hey, we've all benefited from the black web, the dark web, the pre-releases and the first listens. We've all benefited from it, but don't take away from the experience, from the artist, from the excitement. Don't spoil things. Like, if you're gonna participate in it, then be quiet. This is what we watch. This is Miss Featurino of What We Watch with a PSA. Be quiet and enjoy your private screenings and your advanced leaks and all of that to yourselves. All right, so don't be the feds. But like I said, we're gonna jump right into it because we were supposed to start 30 minutes ago, and that's on me. Thank you for waiting. This is What We Watch Wednesday. Tej, I know you got a lot to say. Let's update the audience on how you really feeling about Team Black versus Team Green. Talk to me.
Well, first of all, I want to say that this was a phenomenal episode. I think this is one of those episodes where, before the show existed, there were people that work at HBO or Cinemax or whatever the hell it's called now, and people that work on these shows, and you could tell this is one of those episodes that they use in a pitch meeting of like, hey, we're gonna do a Jurassic Park theme where we're killing a whole bunch of small folks with dragons, and we're gonna see regular people on dragons. And I think that this is one of those linchpin episodes for this series. Season 2, I really enjoyed this episode. And second of all, I hate to say this, but I'm off Team Black. Like, I'm done. I can't be Team Black anymore.
Tej,
It's
you gotta fix your audio, my guy. We want to hear you. We know you're spitting bars. Please adjust your phone wherever you are. Tej, you're muted. Can everyone hear me good? Give me a heart plus sign. Where's the excitement? Okay, Tej, you gotta fix your audio.
my sound was bad.
Okay, keep going.
I have to announce, unfortunately, that I'm um, rescinding all loyalty to Team Black. I can't deal with Jace D. Vance calling people mongrels. I can't deal with how Rhaenyra's been treating our black queens over there, the worst stepmother ever. And there's something in Rhaenyra's eyes when she was watching all those people die that just did not sit right with me. This is a true crash out mission. I see why all the Targaryens were gone by the time Dany showed up. The Targaryens don't belong in power, and I'm no longer Team Black, and I'm damn sure not Team Green. So I don't support either one of these teams anymore. I will just be casually observing from the sidelines. We off that. We not. I'm not Team Black anymore. It's nasty over there.
So that was Tej's big announcement. Um, so give me a heart plus sign at the bottom of your screen. Clap if you agree with him. Raise your hand or give him a thumbs down if you're like, yo, no, we still got an angle here for the Targaryens. Okay. All right, I see it. So if you're Tej has denounced all affiliations, he's not even reffing, he's not even calling any shots. He's like, whatever happens, happens. I'm just here to enjoy the game. He's like me at baseball games. I'm like, I have no idea what inning we're on. But, innings are great. And I think everyone's having a great time. And it's really about the friends we made along the way. And in the Targaryen world, it's really about the enemies we made along the way. So that's Tej's take. I want to say that I'm still Team Rhaenyra. I'm still Team Black. Now, I told y'all 2 episodes ago when we were here at What We Watch Wednesday with House of the Dragon, I told y'all she was moving crazy. There's no coincidence that I just told y'all she was moving crazy with the Mysteria thing. Maybe that doesn't influence your decision, but I'm gonna tell you it doesn't not fluent. It doesn't not fluent. Doesn't not influence your decision. So I'm just gonna, people are making poor decisions. My perspective of Jace D. Vance is that this is no different from where we were episode 4, 5, and 6. So the fact that we're, I think it just tipped the scales for Tej now. But I see some hands up. I see some speakers. Welcome. Angela, go ahead and kick us off. How you feeling?
So I just want you guys to know my sole purpose in this spaces today is to defend Jace because y'all are calling him racist. If anything, he's elitist. He's not racist. I think we need to look most of the characters in this show, they have an internal problem with themselves on some level, right? Um, Eamon is like mad that he got bullied all these years and now he's taking it out on his brother. And I still don't what is the relationship between Aemon and Jace and Luke? Is he technically their uncle? He's their
Yeah,
step uncle? Okay.
he's their uncle.
Okay. So he has a problem with his nephews and his brothers, right? Um the woman with the red hair, she's mad that Rhaenyra didn't have sex with her first. There's internal issues with all of these characters. Jace's internal issue is he knows he's a bastard. Like he knows most of the problems his mother is facing is because of him. And it's not intentional. Like if he looked like his dad, if he looked like somewhat like his mother, a lot of what has transpired throughout the series would not have happened, right?
He
So,
does look like his dad. He looks like a strong boy.
you know what I'm talking about. He doesn't look like the black father. Okay, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't look like Leonard, the homosexual one. My apologies if that offended anyone. With that being said, all of his life, this boy has been getting bullied for looking like Heron Strong. Then, mother, you mean now you're gonna tell me that, oh, Valerian Targaryen blood actually don't mean shit. Anyone can technically ride a dragon when the whole 16 years of my life I've been getting bullied by my uncles and everyone in the village, everyone in the town because you slept with a nigga that I look just like. Like, we gotta look at it from his perspective. Like I understand where he's coming from.
Angela, if I may engage, here's the thing. And I know Tej has something to say. Let me go ahead and kick off what Tej has to say in response to this, and then he can keep going. There's a problem with whose idea this was initially. And here's my thing. I'm not going to go back and forth over no damn teenager. We're also disagreeing on how old Jace is. That is a young, dumb child. Now, he cooked a little bit. Y'all gassed it a couple episodes. I ain't forget. Y'all gassed Jace a couple episodes ago. But you know what? He made some good, decent decisions. But it's like a typical teenager to have a say, to feel a way. And then as soon as things happen, you got a problem. You have this internal battle where, whoa, mom, I didn't mean all of the bastards. I just kind of met the ones kind of like me. And it's like, it's just a typical teenage thing. Now, if he's in his early 20s, then maybe I'm with more leaning towards the side of getting him the fuck up out of here. But I tell you what, I'm not about to go back and forth over no bastard teen. It's fine. Whatever, Rainier is really the one to focus on. But Tej, go ahead.
A couple things. One, but neither one of you have addressed the main point, which is nobody in the history of mankind has ever called people mongrels and not been racist. The overlap circles is just one circle for those kind of people. Two, this man is not some young kid. He is old enough to go on diplomatic missions on behalf of a warring faction to secure allies. He's already done it twice now. So if he's old enough to go do that, then we damn sure cannot treat him like a child because he's literally playing a part in the war. And three, this was his idea. He said, Mom, why don't we start looking for other people to ride these other dragons? And she's looking in the history books and they're like, oh my God, this is a good job. And I'm like, damn, Jason's cooking. He's getting it done. I also have said in these spaces, obviously, it is not a good idea to just put any old person on the dragon. But I didn't. That distinction had nothing to do with where these people come from. And he was fine with highborn bastards riding dragons. It was literally his idea. So I agree that he is elitist, but also this man is married to a black woman. If you are going around calling people mongrels, including one of the people, by the way, who is the lowborn people on the dragons now, happens to be a black man, you can't go around calling people mongrels. And from a showrunner's perspective, the writers are too smart and too intentional with the words that they use to have that character who they know at that point in time we're viewing as a protagonist, or most people watching the show see him as a protagonist. He's a baby face. His brother died. We literally start our season with him securing the North. They know how we feel about the North. They're positioning the character in a way, and to have him say that, I think they were trying to signal, hey, y'all are rooting for Rhaenyra and Jace, but I think this episode was the first signpost of, hey, if y'all don't see it yet, but y'all aren't supposed to be rooting for these people either. They are like the Lisan El Gaib in Dune 2. That's not a hero. He's the protagonist of Dune 2, but he's not a hero. The way he was moving was nasty. I feel the same way about Jace and his mama. Jace has no home training. He calling people mongrels, and Team Black's going to go out sad. And I'm going to be just as excited to watch them go out sad as I am watching Team Green go out sad.
I want to let Chris speak next, but I will say two things. Number one, the last movie or the last character that I saw use the term mongrel was in a Mortal Kombat film. It was the super buff white guy who was probably racist. So to each that point stands alone. I don't think it necessarily, but he was like, you don't have the mongrel in you. And, I think that's, I'm pretty sure that's the Mortal Kombat that everyone overlooked during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. So anyways, Chris, talk to me. Where are you at with it?
So this is all an overarching issue in regards to the writing. And this is what happens when writers think that they can produce better content than what the source material is. And that is something that the book readers have been screaming about for years, especially with Game of Thrones in the last 3 seasons, how that went. And this is the writers messing things up and making things confusing, because a lot of shit doesn't make sense. Jace, to be a diplomat and to have essentially a black wife, and for it to be his idea to go and seek out the dragon seeds, but then at the same time, he's saying, well, these people are lowborn. Why are they the dragon seeds? Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's just bad writing. And this is what happens when people who adapt source material think they can do a better job than what Grimm does. GRRM, George R.R. Martin. It doesn't make any sense. And they need to do a better job. Like, instead of trying to recreate something new and do a fresh take on it, just adapt the fucking source material. It's right there. It's a blueprint. It's already good as it is. You don't have to adapt it. You're not going to make it better. All you're going to do is confuse people, because now you're creating storylines that don't make sense. Like the whole thing with Rhaenyra and Alicent, when they weren't even friends in the books. That's a whole created thing that they made. It was actually Laena and Rhaenyra that were really close. So like my whole thing with this, because I came in late to this conversation, is all the issues in this can be tied back to the writers not knowing what the fuck they're doing and trying to make something that doesn't work. In rant.
Ooh, y'all heard it here first. Citizen, talk to me, because you're also a book reader. Try not to do spoilers, but let us know if there's anything that we're saying that is making any sense. And if the source material wouldn't have had us this pissed off, then I hear you. But we're here to talk about the TV show as well. So go ahead, Citizen.
Well, let me tell Keys, you sorry, unloyal son of a gun. We don't want you on Team Black no more. You gonna be like that? That's crazy, dog. I will throw hands if you talk about Jace is not racist. He is betrothed to a sister. Remember when Aemon came and claimed Vhagar and Baela and Rayla was trying to fight him? Jace stood up. He said, "Ta-da! Throw some sand in your eye, Aemon." He was there. He's Jace ain't racist. He hate poor people. That's it. It's all. He don't hate black people. He hate poor people. And but the episode by far was one of the best of the entire Game of Thrones House of Dragons season. I love the way they did the dragons. I love the way they did Ulf and Hugh Hammer. Those are two of my favorite guys from the books. I'm not going to say nothing. But I kind of thought it was funky the way Rhaenyra was like, okay, here's his name. Do what you got to do. Now turn around. And she just walked out and let them fools cook. And that was kind of weird. I was like, I guess that's how you do it. Maybe like give them some commands or something like that. But the show was great. I'm definitely Team Black. We about to cook. Well, that final scene when them 3 dragons was there and Aemon had to do that Yui. Boy, come on, just inject that into my veins, bro. I'm done. That was awesome.
injected into my veins, bro. Watch clip that injected into my veins, bro. Because here's the thing: if you're gonna be off of Team Black, it has to be off the strength of Rhaenyra, to me. Because to the Citizen's point, Rhaenyra moving crazy. Okay, Vermithor is the fiercest dragon, and you gonna have 100 people cooked like Aegon there? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Surely we could have went a slightly different way with this, surely. But this is where I say, and always, guys, during these What We Watch spaces, take the time to say I told you so, because I'm gonna do it. If you brought it up before, it's all on record. And we can go back and check, okay? This is what we watch. But let me say I told you so. Number one, I told y'all to pay attention to Hugh when he first walked up to Aegon the Magnanimous. I was like, pay attention to Hugh. That's my guy right there. Something's right about that guy right there. That storyline matters. It matters so much that he's writing their gods. He's writing Targaryen gods, okay? He couldn't save his daughter, and his wife is in his marriage. His wife left him. My wife left me. But Hugh has a dragon, okay? Talk to him extremely nice. Trust me on this, guys. This is the What We Watch founder. Hugh is that guy. Ulf, I'm off of that. We off that too. I might have a little Jace in me. I don't know. I don't think it's the poor people. I think it's just you got to be a little sexy. Okay, I don't like not sexy people. Okay, that's just what it is. I just want a little, and everyone's, the range is very subjective. What's sexy to you may not be sexy to me. But we, Ulf, Hugh, we know who's the sexier of the two. And I didn't like Ulf, but I did really enjoy the three dragons shot. Oh my gosh, Rhaenyra with Syrax, and I assume it was Silverwing, and it wasn't Caraxes. Who was that? Sea Smoke, I think it was. I mean, whatever three dragons were there, turn that up, because Vhagar, my girl. Here's where I was wrong. Vhagar's my girl, but she's not a girl's girl, and I'm really starting to realize that Vhagar is not a girl's girl. And you gotta be a girl's girl in this kind of time, guys. Rhaenyra, Vhagar killed Meleys. You're not a girl's girl. You're a boy's girl, and you girls that are boys' girls are the most dangerous girlies. We can't win nothing with the Vhagars of the world. So I rescind that statement. Vhagar, I'm not. It's over. I realized this when you had to make that Yui, when Aemon had to practically force you to make that U-turn and bust that Yui. I was like, nah, Vhagar, you have a right. You were right to be shook, but Go ahead, Jess. Welcome to the stage.
Yeah, no, listen, man, I am very excited for this finale. Tej had quite a bit to say. I mean, wow, Team Black is up and Tej is out, I guess. That's interesting to me. And to your Jace point, listen, man, was he tripping a little bit? Absolutely, absolutely. Was he saying mongrel with the hard R? Yeah, that's crazy. That was crazy. But what I do like that the writing did, because I don't disagree that clearly. And again, I'm watching this. I haven't read the books either. And I can take the point that maybe the writing could be a little off if you're also going off of the material from George R.R. But what I will say is they made it very clear in that rant that it's not just that Jace is racist or classist or just a hateful person. He hates himself. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Can we have that conversation? Because he looked at his mom and he said, well, what does that mean about me? And my strong brown looking ass hair, my brunette ass self. You know what I'm saying? What does that mean for me and the legacy that you left for me, mom? If we just have everybody riding around on these dragons, regardless of where they come from, and regardless of where this prophecy that I told you about an episode or two ago may or may not matter, anyways, in terms of what it means to be a Targaryen. Let's have that conversation. He's clearly struggling with himself, and we'll see that hopefully come to a conclusion in the next in the finale. But in terms of the episode as a whole, some of my favorite cinematography, I think, and I knew we were going to be in for some fun when the episode kicks off on the shoreline of that beach, and you see that face off, and Sea Smoke is there, and I think it's Syraxes. I think that's Rhaenyra's dragon. They're just there, and Adam is there, and he's just kind of like, listen, man,
Seaspool came to me like I don't know what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? And so that was really cool. That was really interesting. I think I absolutely saw Vermithor like flame somebody, make sure that they were medium rare, and then throw them into the air and plop that poor person into his mouth. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but like he had a buffet going. Um, and that scene was crazy. When Rhaenyra was able to calm Vermithor, that look in her eyes, that side smirk. I don't know if anybody caught what my queen had going on. Like I don't know what Tej is doing, but I'm not renouncing Team Black when we're calming dragons like that and then walking away and then having, you know what I'm saying, having the dragon just have a buffet until whoever Vormithor chooses is who they choose. I thought that was absolutely insane. And the shot of her turning around and saying who will be first with the dragon right behind her, mirroring the entire poster of like the last couple years of this. Like I just thought it was very well done. It was absolutely crazy to see. And I think what's interesting to me is you are kind of seeing the downfall, I think, of this bloodline, because I'm seeing the beginnings of Rhaenyra quickly become her own sort of like religious zealot, this different type of figure to win this war. And maybe a downfall is coming. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Tej is right. But I because you can see the cracks in the armor of where this is about to go. Like she's renounced some of the teachings and the dragon lords who were there before, you know what I'm saying? Like they were just like cussing her out in their language, and they walked
Right.
away. And she was doing her own thing. She went her own way, and it does very much look like she's begun to drink her own Kool-Aid in that way. And if that's going to be the thing that leads to Team Black taking an L in the end, that would be what it is. But until
But
then, we'll enjoy the ride. Because I thought that was absolutely amazing. And yeah, that final shot of the crew, and this is without Damon. Hopefully he finds his way back. This is without Reyna, who is clearly on the hunt for that wild dragon who may come rolling into Dragonstone. Okay, because Dragonstone idol. Okay, can you tame a dragon? It did ultimately work out. We have Ulf, and we have our guy Hugh, and now Rhaenyra has an army that actually has Aemond, like Mo said, busting a Yui. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find his way to Dragonstone, doing what he thought was going to be very easy work, and it wasn't. So I'm excited to see how this finale wraps up. But you know what I'm saying? Like leave Jace. Jace hates himself, and the healing will come, guys. Just allow it.
here's the thing. Most of you have hated yourself at some point. I'm not going to align with Jace, not at this time. It's just not my ministry at this time. But most of you have. Maybe at some point in your life, for a short period of time, you hated yourself. You probably was acting crazy, honestly. You was probably saying stuff and contradicting yourself constantly. You probably wanted a thing to happen, and then it happened, and you was like, damn, I didn't think it would go like that. Yeah, it went like that. So, but my thing is, to your point about Rhaenyra, whomst among us hasn't drank our own Kool-Aid? Whomst among us? Okay, I make great Kool-Aid. Me personally, I enjoy my Kool-Aid a lot, quite a bit. I mean, and don't give me a dragon, because I'm drinking my Kool-Aid every day. I'm making it, and then I'm drinking it, and then I'm making it, I'm drinking it every single day. So, yeah, Vermithor, the fiercest dragon, Rhaenyra don't care about none of that. Vermithor, don't play with me. You can play with them. Not this one. You can play with them, but not me. But I still think she kind of crazy for letting them cook like that. But you know what? Her words, there was an attempt in her words. This Can You Tame a Dragon, this Dragon Idol, this Dragon Rider Draft is like die or get a dragon. And I'm not, I think they did a good job in the writing at that. I know we've been cooking the writing for quite a bit, like Aegon got cooked and all them people that Vermithor got cooked. I know we've been doing that. But I will say that it's really cool to see the story around the dragons, because it makes a lot of sense. Rhaenyra said, you either die or you get chosen by a dragon. These are not just dragons. They're not y'all's homies. They're my homies, but they're gods, okay? They are literal gods in this Targaryen world. So, you're risking quite a bit, but it would make sense, right, to know that the lowborn, the chance of becoming a higher power or riding a god is worse death. You know what I mean? And I think that works out really well. Like, either I go back to being a poor, lowborn, that is just witnessing this crazy war, or I get to potentially ride a dragon. And let me tell you something. If I see Ulf on a dragon and I'm in King's Landing or I'm in Dragonstone, I'm going straight to a dragon, bro. Ain't no way y'all let that motherfucker ride and y'all not letting me ride. Ain't no way Ulf got a dragon and not me. There's no way. I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it right now, the fall of the House of Targaryen is because of Ulf on a dragon. I don't want to see Ulf on no dragon. Get him out of here. Someone kill him. This is Game of Thrones. This is House of the Dragon. Someone get Ulf out of here. Get out of here. Someone else. Who chose him? Not Sea Smoke. Silverwing chose Ulf. Right? Get out of here, Silverwing. All right. Maybe you are not a real god, Silverwing. No, absolutely not. But, I digress. Nap Escobar, welcome to What We Watch Wednesday. This is House of the Dragon. How are you feeling about everything we've said? Because Tej is like, screw Team Black. And we're trying to make sure that he's just making hasty decisions, but we'll see. Go ahead.
Okay, so with everything we've discussed, I think his name was Chris. He was in here, and I think everything I have to say is pretty much exactly like what he brought up. Everything stems back to the creative decisions made by the showrunners, because they've like bottled a lot of decisions over 2 years, and it's coming back to like everyone's like, all right, this doesn't make sense. It's because they've made poor decisions. The source material is like is 1.5 books. It's there. It's not like Game of Thrones where you had 5 books and then you were like, all right, what are we gonna do now? So we made it up. No, like the source material is there. So like they bottle a couple of things. For one, it was Jace's idea to just bring all Targaryen blood, highborn or lowborn. It was his idea in the books. So like for them to change that in the show to like the mongrel term, that was crazy. Like that's really crazy. I thought I sat up when he said that. I'm like, I haven't heard that term since like I was in Europe. Like that's mad.
Y'all have to watch the Mortal Kombat movie. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm desensitized to the word. I just heard it for years.
Heard it one other time, so that's how you know it's a crazy word.
Right. You only hear it like once every 5-7 years in an obscure reference. Go ahead.
So when he said that, I sat up. I'm like, what the fuck did he say? But so like I was like, that's weird. It's weird that he brought it up because, like I said, in the books, it was his idea to bring bastards, like Targaryen bastards, to claim dragons. So that was.
I think in the show it was also his idea, and I think it
was Mysare's idea to bring bastards.
That's what I thought. I was trying to tell Tej. I was like, Jace only added gasoline to the fire to say, yeah, do that. It's like when Pumbaa has an idea and then Timon repeats it and it's like it's his idea. I think that's what's happening here.
Wait, that's not what he said though. It was Mysare's idea to go into the brothels and find bastards, but it was Jace's idea to find bastards. He just assumed that they were talking about highborn bastards because she was looking into the books. The lowborn people wouldn't be in the books.
I remember Rhaenyra already looking in the books because of a conversation she had had. I don't even remember crediting Mysaria for it. But it seems like everyone may have had the idea at the same time or was supporting the idea. But you guys let me know. What I remember on the show, it was not Jace's idea. It was just Jace was the last person to talk to Rhaenyra, and she was like, you know what? Now that I've been thinking about it, yes.
Okay.
But go ahead.
In the show, it was Jace's idea to bring other like highborn Targaryen bloodlines. It was like, hey, there's those of our lines who'd never ruled. So like they were born into like proper Targaryen weddings, like proper marriages with Targaryens. So they're not rulers, but they have they're not baseborn. It was Mysaria who said, hey, the people, like your people have been breeding with the people in this land in wicked ways in the brothels. So it was Jace's idea to bring highborn Targaryens with the Targaryen blood in them, which they started with Stefan Darkling, the knight. But it was Mysaria's idea in the show to say, there's a lot of Targaryen blood running around King's Landing. Let's try that angle. Which in the books, it's all Jace's idea, and he's the one who leads the sowing, the procession of, hey, claim these dragons. He does that in the book. But then he mentions the dark hair. See, now I don't like that either. Why? Because Princess Rhaenys has black hair in the books. That's what I'm saying. All these all these creative decisions come back, and people are like, well, okay, like what are we really doing here? You know, like that it compounds to like the confusions that people start, like, for me, I question it. Like, and then Corlys telling Alan that your brother claimed a dragon. Corlys's great grandmother was the mother of Aegon, Visenya, and Rhaenys. So it was like there is in Valyria, the Velaryons, they weren't dragon lords, but they all have they have Valyrian blood. They've been intermarried into the Targaryen household for so many generations. So like the blood is there, which I kind of think is shaky. But what I liked about the Hugh claiming Vermithor, because I mentioned this last week, the reason Seasmoke chose to claim Alan or Adam is because there's like blood. There's like some kind of, I think the show writers are going of like, okay, like this has the blood of my previous writer on them, so like I want that. So in the show, we saw that Hugh, his mother was Sarah Targaryen, which was the great granddaughter, which was the daughter of Jaehaerys, who was the grandfather of Daemon and Viserys. So that's why Hugh was able to claim Vermithor. And I think that's like the direct. I kind of like that because like,
now, why was Ulf able to claim Silverwing? Now, no one's telling me about that because that's a problem.
Okay, with that one, I couldn't tell because Silverwing has only had one other rider previously, and I don't know. Like, I don't know how they went with that one, but that's how.
Okay, so then, all right. So if you want to talk about the writers making decisions, guys, that decision is the decision I'm not with. No.
But that's how Ulf was in the book. He was a drunk.
They let a drunk be on Silverwing in the books.
He was a bastard. So, and he had Targaryen blood. Plug it.
They could have gotten a more powerful looking guy.
Are we supposed to believe that he actually is a Targaryen? Because it was shaky. Because he said maybe it's not all true. Was he just saying that because he was scared to go to the sewing, or was he actually? Yeah, I couldn't tell because they literally say like you've been using that to get free drinks at the bar. So I can't tell whether he actually is a Targaryen or not.
No, because he got their wig. They all had like little like unkept Targaryen wigs on them.
And see, I just whatever the direction, whatever wigs, whatever lace fronts, because sometimes you lay a wig down, hun. That being said, I'm just not Team Ulf. I mean, there's no way. Someone has to order his death, right? Am I being too hard? Someone order his death. Silverwing can choose somebody else. We're not doing this. Ulf is not. There's no way that Rhaenyra is riding out on Syrax, followed by Adam on Seasmoke, followed by Hugh on Vermithor, and then we got Ulf on Silverwing. Let's be for real. Vhagar, please let Vhagar cook Silverwing, and let's get this out of here. I don't want Silverwing to die, though. I'm hoping that we could just, throw Ulf into the riders. And, we could just call it a day. But I want to let Jay go ahead, Tej, and then Jay was. Thank you for waiting. And then Nem, I see you. Hi, Nem. Welcome to What We Watch. Tej, go ahead and say what you got to say. Because people have been trying to convince you. Why aren't you convinced? What's going on?
Well, first of all, y'all talk about the sewing, and nobody has even brought up the fact that Rhaenyra literally says, okay, let's start the sewing. We're going to start with Vermithor, the fiercest dragon in the land. That's insane. You got 45 people out there standing there. You're not going to send them in one at a time or two at a time. You got all these niggas that are just standing here in a free-for-all, and we're starting the game on All Madden. Silverwing was right there, and obviously any old body can ride on Silverwing. If Silverwing's going to go with Ulf, any of them people out there could have got Silverwing. So we start with Vermithor. Vermithor gobbles everybody up and blowing fire on people because Vermithor is fed up with this whole shit. Vermithor don't fuck with nobody out there. We could have started with Silverwing, and maybe that would have been a better way to start, but now everybody's dead, and now we end up with a bum riding Silverwing. Now we end up drafting the wrong guy later down the board, and with a first-round pick that we wasted. Now we got Ulf out here. He's a clown. There's nothing about Ulf that makes me think that he's going to be that guy. So I think that, it's hard to be a GM. of a dragon team. And I think they got good picks with Adam. They got good pick with Hugh. I'm really excited to see what they can do for the team. But I think Ulf is a bum, and I think Ulf gonna get somebody clapped. He's gonna fuck up. He's gonna try to go to Team Green. He's gonna do something. I don't trust Ulf at all, and I don't think that's the kind of guy you need to build your team around.
I fully agree. No way you're using real dollars and first round draft picks on Ulf. There's no way. We could have done that season 3. We could have even maybe season 4 if you still got a few people left. Maybe he needed to be in game. Like, there's just no way. There's just no way you're drafting Ulf. All right. The rest of us are looking like, ain't no way. And this is what Jace, unfortunately, is talking about. Like, all right, now, you got a little too overzealous. You got overzealous with this mom, okay? And I think great point, Teach. Why start with Vermithor? You had to have want some people to get killed. There's no way, Rainier. You wanted some
She
people
was
to get
enjoying it up there on the balcony. She sipping her wine. Like, this was like blood sport for her. I think she was enjoying it. I think that she only started with
Weed the weak,
Vermithor.
breed the
She
strong.
wanted to see people get cooked.
She was sipping her wine like seriously when she blew up the set. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? Rhaenyra said, "Me and Vermithor cool. Vermithor gonna figure out who he." And I fully agree. There's no reason. We got plenty of time. We have the opportunity to make trades later. There's no reason why we draft him first. There's just no reason. He's a last resort kind of guy. But let me go ahead and let you speak, Jay. We was Dragon Riders.
We was Dragon
Go
Riders.
ahead.
I feel like nobody's holding Rhaenyra accountable because Jace's whole thing was like, I'm a bastard, like damn near. Like I'm sorry about background noise, I'm in my car. But like I'm a bastard. Like motherfucker, like I got black hair. You ain't think to like let that nigga hit once? Like damn, like you got people questioning my legitimacy because one, I don't look like a Targaryen. I have black hair. So it's very obvious who my father is. And then second, like make better decisions right now. I feel like the writers also forgot like about her other son's death. Like that should have played a much bigger part to what she's doing. I feel like this is a anger decision, not a rationary decision because of her son's death. And just like everybody has been saying, the writers haven't been doing any good writing this season.
Dang. Well, I will say it is not lost on me that the cinematography and this being some of people's favorite episode of the season, it's not lost on me that it's the one with the most dragons. All right. I told you guys, I made you guys start an episode by letting me know who your top favorite characters are. We should probably clip those what we watch so y'all can see what y'all was saying and see if you want to make any adjustments. But I told y'all it was all 17,000 dragons. And then the walkways. We haven't seen the walkways. Maybe the walkways aren't going so well in the cobblestone. And then it was like Baela and Rhaenyra. But it's just the show looks so good, and to see Vermithor cooking people, whether Rhaenyra is here at fault or not, whether we should have gone that route or not, which we definitely shouldn't have. Teed, you make great points there. Like we could have definitely started with Silverwing. Especially knowing that Sea Smoke went and saw. Like, we need to be very clear when we say Sea Smoke chose. Like, Sea Smoke didn't just randomly choose. That's my son sneezing. Sea Smoke didn't randomly choose Adam. Sea Smoke went and Adam was like, "Come get me." If Adam was like, "Come get me," Sea Smoke went and found and attacked and damn near was just like, "No, you are my person." That's how you need to be about your person. And so we had an opportunity to kind of really let the gods do what they needed to do. And Rhaenyra was like, "No, I want to give Vermithor a little snacky." And Vermithor had a full hibachi meal. Like, we was just cooking and sauteing people and just flipping them up and just catching them
Rhaenyra fed
like
him
we just had a full hibachi
10-piece lemon
for
pepper spicy,
Vermithor.
extra crispy.
Like it is what it is. So we just had a full hibachi for Vermithor, and that's just what it was. But to me, the reason why this episode was so amazing is because we had so many dragons. We had so many beautiful shots with what we watch House of the Dragon for. What we watch, it's House of the Dragon, and it's for the dragons. And we need to know who these writers are. And that's why I have a deeply rooted beef with Ulf. You do know what this means, right? We're going to get our best episodes with dragons, and we're going to have to see Ulf. We're going to have to see Ulf on a dragon. It's just,
Okay.
it's not, No. Angela, go ahead.
I have like three things to say. So you guys are calling Ulf Royce Royce White or Royce White is crazy. Um saying that Rhaenyra is Daryl Morey is insane. Um I think I honestly I did not know that they had two dragons there because I'm like Bela 9 episodes that she don't got a dragon and she's like of their blood. Like, why are we not teaching her how to tame a dragon? And the scene where like I don't know if it's like intentional or like whatever, but like don't know. Like I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of getting tired of it. Like I know it's like kind of like the B plot of the show. I don't like it's like they have him doing handiwork. He's like high. I don't know if he's high or being poisoned. Like I don't know what's going on. And then I do just have a question. I probably have yeah, so I do just have a question. Why didn't Varys want to let Aegon know, not Aegon, Aemon know that there are new dragon riders? Does anyone know? Like, I don't know.
That's okay. So that's like a
I
show.
think that's.
Oh, you can go ahead, T. You got it.
I think that is left open, and I think it's for one of two reasons, or maybe both. One, this information is not vetted at all. And he asked him where he heard it from, and he said, "I heard it from a nigga that heard it from another nigga that heard it from another nigga." So it was like a lot of people passing the information around. But I think the main reason is because Aemon just shit on him. So he wants Aegon back in power, and he feels like this information will be better placed with Aegon when Aegon is in a position of strength, which is why he's trying to get Aegon to walk, even though Aegon just literally wants to sit in bed and drink milk of the poppy. But because Loras has no sway over Aemon, he realizes that he is useless unless he gets Aegon back in power. So I think he's going to try to leverage that piece of information to Aegon, but it don't seem like it feels like obviously Aemon found out now through the street, so it didn't work out that way. But I think he was trying to leverage the information, but then Aemon went out and found out on his own.
I have my own take on that. Now I want to let Nem talk. Go ahead, Nem. And I'll answer your question too, Angela. Go ahead, Nem, if you have an answer as well and your points. Welcome.
Appreciate you having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, cool. I just wanted to get to two main things, and I might jump into another thing if y'all talk about it. But one, Jace, he got a little self-hate in him. He need a little counseling. He dealing with some things, right? He just need a little you are worthy, you are smart, you are whatever that affirmation he needs, he just needs to get that. Outside of Jace, one of the things about Vermithor, I really enjoyed that scene, especially, and shout out to Rhaenyra because she didn't let anybody just go out goofy as far as consent. She's like, yo, this is a test for your life. If this ain't for you, you're done. So she flat out, she told him. And then the second point to that second point is that the characteristics of the people, I feel like the dragons were testing that. Because like you were saying earlier, the dragons are very specific about who they pick. And that includes Ulf, unfortunately. But I do think that it's the manner of which their rider was tested. So as far as Hugh, shout outs to Hugh, when Vermithor smoked everybody else and Hugh was ready to go down, he was ready to die, and he yelled at Vermithor like, come on, get it over with. And then Vermithor was like, no, I fucks with you. This is my guy. This is my guy. Like each one was like a little test. And then even with Ulf stumbling on, what was it, Nightwing?
Silverwing, which
Silverwing.
I don't trust Silverwing. I'm realizing that my beef is actually with Silverwing and not with him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I think, oh, my little one's crying for something. Hold on a second. Move on to somebody else. I'll come back.
Hi, baby. Okay, I think we had Citizen next, and then Jess.
Yo, let me pivot real quick and tell you the biggest pimp of that whole episode was my boy Oscar Tully when he went to Damon and said, "Son, you done made a mess of this shit right here. You want this army? You're gonna have to behead your boy Samuel Blackwell." And here he come. I mean, Damon, he didn't waste no time. He took out Dark Sister and said, "Off with that head." And I just think that was a G-ass move. I got so much respect for that little 14-year-old white boy. And I think it's pimp. And I just want to give it up to him.
Are we in the Damon portion of this? What we watch? Welcome, this is House of the Dragon. If
Let's
you're
get
just
it. Let's go, Damon.
I'm
Let's
ready.
go.
let's talk about your boy, okay? Because before I even watched the episode, I got about 3 text messages and 4 tweets talking about how you feel about Damon now. I still feel the same. Okay, I still feel the same. All right, Damon, you're not a serious guy. I'm still not moved, okay? If you are going to be Damon and we're over here, we are making Vagar bust Yui's, I still need more from you, my guy. You're not just like, you acting like you a third string. Damon is a third string that's doing well right now. We get it. You've got one good game and you made a good plays. We needed you. Everybody else was injured. We needed you. Like, Damon's not giving what needs to be gave. But I will say, I agree with you. Is it Oscar Tully? Is it Oscar? Our guy Oscar. Thank you for bringing that scene up. That was towards the beginning of the episode, and it was so profound to me because now we understand that Damon really ain't about shit, and he really ain't got no loyalty to him. Like, we already knew that, but like the show itself understands that there's no loyalty to women. That's why it works. But now it's like, oh wait, maybe Damon doesn't just hate women. He just hates everybody. And he hates anybody that may potentially have more power than him. And he'll get it by any means. Which, quite frankly, at times could be good strategy for the Targaryens. Maybe that's what the Targaryens needed right now, which is why he's drinking his own Kool-Aid. But if we're gonna talk about Rhaenyra drinking her own Kool-Aid, y'all better start talking about Damon drinking his own Kool-Aid because he ain't even making his own Kool-Aid. Somebody else is making him for it. He's drinking it and he's calling it his. And he's just like, I'm that guy. So for Oscar to, really expose that kind of like chasm there between him and the guy that he sent off to do those treacherous traitors thing, like, killing children and stuff like that, like all of those horrible things. And then Damon would be like, well, dang, Oscar's right. Like, you did kind of do that and you should have went against me. You would have died then or you would have died here. You would have died either way because if you went against me, I would have killed you. But now you're going against Oscar Tully. You're just going to have to die. Damon could have ordered someone else to kill him, but like it just, to me, that showed that number one, Damon is failing, but he's failing upward. Damon has a couple of wins, and Damon is really still not particularly helpful, and to me, he's still a liability. But that's all I gotta say there.
He
Go
got
ahead,
that army though.
Okay, wait.
It took you 7 episodes to kind of sort of get an army, bro. I mean, we are in the trenches right now. We have Ulf on Silverwing right now. These things could have been avoided had you been present. You're off on your own side mission, and I hear you. We're gonna get some points. We're gonna get, when you play video games, you get the side mission. Like, you get a couple extra things, but like, I'm not seeing it unfold enough in this episode, in this season. And if you're saying it's season 3, I haven't seen season 3. So I can't talk to season 3 because I'm talking about Damon today. If y'all talking about Damon's potential, I don't see potential. I see a disloyal liability that's either getting poisoned or actively getting high. He's wrinkled. He needs Botox. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. Rhaenyra could have used him in other places, and he's out he might as well be on vacation. Caraxes don't fuck with him either. So go ahead, Jess. And then Nem, whenever you're ready, come on back.
Yeah, no, listen, you're spitting facts. We have Ulf on Silverwing, by the way, after he killed one of Silverwing's kid. Like there's so much going on. I thought after he stepped on that dragon egg, I thought he was gonna get Dracarys. I thought he was gonna get cooked. But anyways, we move. I'm absolutely with you. And I agree with you on the Damon thing as well. You know, a couple episodes there was a big debate in this space. Is Damon failing? Is he not? What's going on in Harrenhal? I'm here to tell you that 14-year-old played Damon like a fiddle, like a guitar, okay? He played Damon like Alicia Keys plays the keys. By the end of that whole situation, my goodness, Oscar Tully is him, right? Because I think Damon went into that situation feeling himself, puffing up his chest, off whatever, you know what I'm saying, Alice is giving him, coming in and out of visions and all that. And we're going to talk about one of those visions because after seeing what the crown did to his brother, I don't know. Damon was looking kind of shaky in the light after he saw that rotten eye socket and all that and all that. But we'll get there. But I thought the way that Oscar handled himself after the death of his beloved grandfather, you know, and he understands that politically he's in between a rock and a hard place, right? Because he's looking at Damon and then he's looking at his oath-bearing Riverland stubborn ass people who I respect. And to be honest, Teach, if I'm not rolling with Team Black, then I'm rolling with the Riverlands. If you're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, if you're renouncing, okay, your uniform, your jersey for Team Black, after this episode, I had much respect for the Riverlands because they are a loyal people. They do not play no games. I had much respect for them. And Oscar Tully was able to find the balance between honoring the agreement, right, to give Damon an army and have his head not be cut off, but also look at his people and as their new king, gain their respect by basically putting Damon in a position to behead his homie so that even Oscar could say it wasn't even me. It wasn't even me. Everybody was there. Everybody saw that I was not good with the atrocities that happened, so that I do not lose the respect of my people, but I also don't have Daemon and the Targaryens coming after me decades from now. I thought that was Chef's kiss. Okay, he reminds me very much of Homegirl uh from the original series. That little girl was a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
From Game of Thrones, he reminds me very much of her, and I was impressed. I was
What was
impressed.
her name?
But yeah,
Lyanna Mormont.
I know
Lyanna Mormont.
her name is
Yeah.
escaping me. Yes,
House Bear.
yes. They're giving same energy, same
Okay.
energies. And again, I think it needs to be it needs to really be said that that little boy absolutely played Damon. He did. When you really go back
Uh,
and you deep it, he played him like a fiddle, and I loved it.
Whoever's playing Damon, I should probably get super familiar with the cast. We've been talking about them for 7 weeks straight now.
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith is the
Matthew
gate.
Smith.
Matt Smith is the goat.
Yeah.
Matt Smith, you
Yeah.
are cooking, my guy, because whatever I'm intended to feel about Damon, whatever polarizing type of character in Harrenhal doing acid trips, I'm in. Every time you're on screen, I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. Here goes this guy. And your facial expressions when you're getting played like a fiddle, to Jess's point. I mean, Matt, you are cooking on this show right now. They cannot sleep on you as an actor. So excited to see what you continue to do and what you got up next because, I mean, boy, oh boy, between you, Emma Darcy, and Olivia Cook, man, we are getting some prestige television here. Angela, go ahead.
So, yeah, I thought like in that scene, honestly, was the scene Damon has looked the most pathetic. Like me personally, like throughout like both seasons. Because it's like initially he was like, hold your tongue, boy, but then he was like, okay, I'm gonna kill this guy that I've been bonding with like for I don't know how long he's been in Harrenhal, but I'm gonna kill him because you said if I kill him, I get an army. Cool, even though I just called you boy. Um, and also, just the last point, I want to bring up, the way that he mentions how the Tullys and like people of that region honor their values and like their promises and things like that, I know they're looking up at Robb Stark in disgust. That's all I'll say. So yeah.
I wanted to answer your question earlier too about Varys. I think it's kind of to Tej's point, but I think Varys is one of those. Is Varys our like
Larys.
Larys? There you go. Larys, Corlys, Viserys. Okay, Larys. Is Larys essentially, to some extent, our Lord Baelish light? Is that like a fair enough comparison, or am I reading it wrong?
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's like it's not like so my perspective on the fact that you heard from somebody that heard from somebody that heard from somebody. Not only is it probably not reliable information, but it also doesn't benefit his goals. And a la Lord Baelish, a la Larys, like all of those, there it always has to every bit of information that they choose to keep and or share has to be about their goals. So number one, I think it was like probably 2 or 3 prong. Number one, he didn't get the information himself. So he's like, I'm not about to let you present something that's true and get the credit for it when I could get the credit for it. Maybe he says it to Aegon, maybe he doesn't. Number two, do you realize what's going to happen as soon as one-eyed Aemon finds out that there are multiple dragon riders? He's going to go and try to cook and like maybe expedite this war, maybe start a little bit earlier. And I don't know that we really want that yet, because Aegon is sitting, and half burnt, right? Like a half cooked, piece of chicken. He's like not quite cooked. He's a little pink on the inside. Like that's where Aegon is right now. And they're like, please, I think Aegon has a chance. And so I think Larys is like, and not coming from me, which will make me maybe look bad if it's true. Aemond is fucking insane, and he's gonna ride right on Vhagar and start this, and we're just not ready for that. All right, we've got the common folk poisoned, and things are not going well. Aemond's just gonna go and fight, and not really consider the ramifications and the larger picture. And on top of that, like Aegon is still not anywhere where I want him to be, and I would have more power as Larys if I was, cooking with Aegon versus cooking with Aemon. So that's what I think Varys is like. This information, sharing this at this next meeting doesn't benefit me, and byproduct maybe doesn't benefit anybody else. Tej, go ahead.
I just want to give a shout out to the scene. We haven't talked about Alicent, and that's probably mostly because all she did was go on a camping trip. But there's a scene where she's in the lake and she's kind of floating, and I immediately turned to Mo and I said, "There's not another shot like this in Game of Thrones. Like not just in this show, but also like in Game of Thrones. So you can tell this was a centerpiece episode for them because those are not the kind of shots we get in this show. You don't have those kind of moments of the kind of the peace and tranquility, and also like the way it was shot was just completely different, and that really stood out to me as obviously this is supposed to be an important foray for Alicent to go get her mind right, but that shot just stuck with me because one, I thought it was a beautiful shot, and two, it's just not what they do on this show. It's not you don't get those kind of shots, and so I'll give them props for doing something different. I always like when we're switch up just a little bit. It's not like we have to change the format of the show, but we can be creative with our shots, and I appreciate that they tried.
Before you even turned to me, I blurted out and I was like, this isn't very Game of Thrones-y. This isn't very House of the Dragon. So maybe we had the same thought at the same time, but I turned to you and was like, are we like on an Alicent Eat, Pray, Love right now? Why does she get this? And to me, I'm going to make a reference here because this is who I am and this is why, we host these discussions. But that shot was a very similar shot in Beyonce's Lemonade. Okay, I'm not kidding, guys. Like, very similar shot. So we're talking about like music videos. We're talking about like visual albums. We're talking about like I am in a tranquil, peaceful, healing, men can't stop me and I'm super powerful. Like it very much felt like not Game of Thrones, not House of the Dragon. I don't know who put that scene in there. It was it felt like it was not a part of the show. I think Tej, the difference was Tej appreciated it probably a lot more than I did, as I don't fuck with Allison. Y'all know that. I give it to Rhaenyra, give it to Bayla, and I think it's the best scene. I love that the departure from the way it was shot. I love the moments. But she has that guy there that rode the horse, and she's in the middle of the woods. It looks like a scene from a horror film for a little bit because she's in the middle of the woods just sitting there. And then it immediately follows her into a grassy, pondy, swampy thing. And I'm like, what is this? The closest we could probably get to that was some of the witch scenes, which again, there wasn't like a peace thing about it. It was mostly like, oh, she's about to give birth to a demon. And then maybe we got some Daenerys. Is it Daenerys? How did I forget my girl's name already? Is it Daenerys? Yeah, right? Daenerys. Maybe some Daenerys scenes, some of
Yeah.
them. But this was very unique. Like, you could take that as an excerpt, that shot of Alicent, and put it in another show and it would make sense. But like, it was just such a departure from Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Women don't get that kind of time. Women need to be on point, screaming and crying and yelling and throwing up, making poor sex decisions, getting challenged at the table, or like being very, very strategic and sexual and violent. Those are the only options you have in Game of Thrones as a woman. You don't get to go to the pond and let your hair be beautiful under the sea like you're in The Shape of Water. That's not what we're doing here. You don't get to do that. So I had a real problem with it because they gave that shot to Alicent. She didn't deserve it.
For real.
End rant there. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I don't know if it was just me, but at the beginning of the setup for that shot, I thought she was gonna unalive herself. Did anybody else think she was gonna walk into the lake and just never come
Jess,
back?
a
Yes.
dream
I
come true. We could
I
only
could
hope.
see it. Yeah.
I Okay, so it wasn't just me. I thought, oh, is Allison just done? Like, can she not like sleep in the bed that she made after running Rhaenyra out of her rightful place and seeing the evilness of her children and the hypocrisy of her ways? Did it all just come to bite her and now she doesn't want to be here anymore?
You
Like,
got
I
cooked.
genuinely thought like, and I think like the directors even said that, right? It was a bit of a misdirect where they set it up so that it looked like she was going to take her life, and then it becomes something else where
And then
she,
she gets
like
the
she sees the birds in the
Beyonce's
sky
lemonade
and
shot where she's
she
underwater.
got her mind right. Exactly. Like Mo, to your point, it looks like she's gonna come out of that lake and have some sort of plan, some sort of whatever it's
Which
gonna
I'm
be.
interested to
And I'm
see.
excited to see
But to
that.
your point, Alicent, the hypocrisy with Rhaenyra cannot be overstated. And then you lose your feet guy, so you're trying to be a Findom. You can't even keep that guy. Then you try to, get your lowborn. So you try to be kind of like a woman that doesn't care if her man is rich, because it's so noble for women to date lowborns and have that thing. And, it's actually she was being a predator, but whatever. Like, okay, so then it's that. And then you have your own son. Like, from every angle, every type of relationship, damn near, you could have with a man, you got cooked. So yeah, go have your little hair in the water moment. Oh, so beautiful, ginger hair.
She had her Kendall
She had
Roy
her
moment.
Kendall Roy moment. That is a Succession act. And even when
Exactly.
Succession did it, we were all like, wow, beautiful. Perfect television. Wow.
Exactly.
He's gonna
Exactly.
low
And
key
the last
smash out.
hilarious.
You said what?
It was so good.
Citizen, what did you say?
He's gonna low key smash Allison.
What?
Oh,
That could
that's
not be more
I
crazy.
don't,
confusing.
I don't, I
That's
don't think
crazy.
that's true. But
I think he's missed the beginning of a few of these
I hate
cases.
Allison. I just liked the shot.
yeah. Nem, are you back? Is the baby okay? No? Okay. Let Nap Escobar speak and then we'll close this out and round it out. Go ahead, Nap Escobar.
All right, thank you. So, one, Citizen, that was a crazy end right there. that was out of left field. That was crazy. Two, so with the whole Allison thing, like back to creative choices by the producers. She's 10 years older than Rhaenyra in the books. So like they're trying to make her part of the show and they don't have anything to go off from because she doesn't play that much of a role in the books later, like at this point. So they're just giving her screen time.
Wait. You're telling me that Alicent doesn't play a huge role in the source material?
No. I said for the last few episodes after Aegon gets burnt, she really doesn't do much. And
This is great. This is
from
great. This
from
is
that point on.
fantastic. You know
But
what?
like,
I'm with you guys. I stand with all of you that are anti this show for the source material departures. Get
so
Allison out of here. That's exactly why they gave her that scene where her hair is just beautifully blowing in the swampy, dark, murky waters. Because what are you doing? Go away. You
yeah,
have
so
done nothing. All right, go ahead.
so
Go.
yeah,
Can't
I
stand
thought
it.
that was the end for her when she got in the river. I'm like, okay, but then like they keep trying to make her more than like, so like they're gonna make up scenes for her because like she doesn't really do much. So I'm like, okay, I thought they were gonna whack her off, but they didn't. Oh well. It was a beautiful shot though. I was like, okay, cool. Now, the Riverlands, Oscar Tully. I tip my hat. I always give credit where credit is due, and he played his role very perfectly. Because, like I said, it's not really that this is not remotely how it went on the books, but I liked it because you have Daemon, big bad Daemon, the best dragon rider, the best knight in the Seven Kingdoms. Everyone knows it. His word is law. He moves all the needles. But you got
Y'all
to
talk about Damon like we talked to, like Houston fans talk about James Harden, and it's like, all right,
Be careful. Be careful. Not
all
too
right,
much.
because
I like
I'm
James
just
Harden.
like,
James Harden.
I'm
What are we doing?
like, okay, James is so great, but like, where are the rings?
Not too
Damon
much.
has
I'm just
plenty of
trying to
rings.
figure out because if he's so great, why are you, whole zeros in playoff games? I don't understand it, but maybe he's
He's
so
doing
great.
the
I don't know.
impossible. He is rallying the Riverlands. That is because I think it was Jess who said she's Team Riverlands because that is the most the North follow the Starks, but the Riverlands they're bitter and twisted and old. So and he's doing the most hey, the hardest jobs get the fewest rewards. And this is it, because he's doing the hardest part, and he's got you lot here slandering him for it.
No one told him to do that. Literally, he could have had all the help in the world. He went on this side mission without any communication. I'm not giving you no damn credit.
When they started their council, that was the first thing he said. And that's the first thing the Green said too, if you go back and watch the episodes. The Riverlands were the key to this war. Both sides at the council said it. And how do you master who else on either council would go out to the Riverlands and decide I'm going to run this? No one else has the juice. They don't got the juice like that. He has the best dragon. He's the best dragon rider. He's the best fighter, and he went there on an impossible mission.
How do you define best dragon?
Willem Black. How do I define what?
Best dragon, because he don't got the best dragon.
I said he's the best dragon rider.
Oh, okay.
Because he's actually taken his dragon to war and won. But William Blackwood lost his head. Doesn't really go that doesn't happen in the books. But hey, I liked it for the show. It's like, okay, Daemon sent you to do something. You pissed off a bunch of other people that I need. Like he said, the Brackens don't have to die because they're loyal. That's why he didn't burn them. He was like, wait a minute, I could use them alive, which I like. He's like, men that don't bend these are the kind of people I want fighting for me. So the Blackwood, Willem goes and desecrates their land. What was that?
That's very true. That's how that conversation went. So, I mean, yeah, there was some strategy and some triumph there in that, because he did say that. He's like, those of you that are willing to fight to the death and for ages like this, those are the kind of men I need on my team. But yeah, go ahead, and then I'll let Nem speak.
And then this is how I end it with Oscar Tully. Now he's got the Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. Finally, because Grover has died off, so it's Oscar. So it's like, all right. His decision means all these other houses will follow me. Now, do I let this guy I've made a fake bond with, who is just one house? And he took his head for it because, hey, he who passes the sentence should swing the sword, and he did it. He did what had to be done. He took his head for it because he's like, hey, I'm not gonna let our little I dapped you up a couple of times. I'm not gonna let that stop me from doing what I came here to do, and it was to raise have Team Black be raised in the Riverlands at Harrenhal, and he's done it. We stood up, we clapped, he did what he set out to do. And now in the preview of the next episode, guess who's coming to Harrenhal? We saw it. He did his job. Napoleon out.
I don't like Daemon. I need Daemon to do something before we exalt him. Nem, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't like Damon either. Um, I've enjoyed the Harrenhal like aspect, him going mad. I just like the tradition of Harrenhal that I say persists, but this happened before Game of Thrones. But that's just this constant. I feel like it's the realest aspect of Game of Thrones is the curse of Harrenhal. So seeing all that play out and having the recurring themes with like the was it the robed woman, the woman that haunts Harrenhal? It seems
Alice.
yeah, it seems like she gives the same vibes as like that premise. And then like they were saying in Game of Thrones, wasn't it supposed to be like Kate was haunting Harrenhal um after she got killed in the Red Wedding?
So no, so
Wasn't that supposed to like be an implication, like a
no. So like the reason like Harrenhal is haunted in the books is because when Harren the Black, Harrenhal, his name, when he was building his castle there, he cut down like all the godwood trees there, and so
right?
that cursed the land. And then when Aegon conquered it, he burned it down to the ground. So like it's been cursed since.
Got it.
Right. I understand the curse comes from that, but wasn't there a theme of like a woman haunting? Like I say haunting, but like stalking the lands of Harrenhal. Like I think they even alluded to it in Game of Thrones, like late in the last season. It
Yeah,
was
it wasn't like the cause of the curse, but
yeah,
it's
she
like
was just
the
kind of
cultic.
roaming.
Yeah, she's roaming. But go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, I just like seeing that theme kind of persist in both shows as well.
I love that. I have again. I've been mostly indifferent. Tej, I think you can speak to the Curse of Harrenhal. You've been pretty okay with it too. Like you're not bothered at all, right?
Yeah, I've liked it, and I like the way it kind of ended with little Tully stepping up and growing some balls. I kind of have been into it because it adds so much to the Damon character, and I think it's really going to pay off in season 3. So I've been into it.
For sure, for sure. Well, that has been what we watched, season 2, episode 7 of House of the Dragon. I recommend you watch Presumed Innocent, or in the midst of watching Presumed Innocent, since you have Apple TV and you're on your 4th free trial, maybe your 17th free trial, watch Severance, watch Platonic, watch Hijack with Idris Elba. Delicious. Lots of great TV is on Apple TV Plus. Not Ted Lasso. Not Ted Lasso. So y'all have a great time. Thank you for joining us for House of the Dragon season 2, episode 7. See us in the same spot, same place. Probably not the same time. We'll probably start at 5:15, 5:30 next Wednesday. And get your tickets to our film festival. Share with your friends, repost, retweet. Thank you guys for joining this conversation every time. We are working very hard and tirelessly to make sure that we can make this event as successful and beautiful to highlight these independent artists. So thank you again. And if you need the code, DM me, because you guys are my people. You have been here through what we watched through 4 years of discussions, and I've been very excited to join for you guys to join. So happy What We Watch Wednesday, and tap in for our film festival on Kobe Day, Saturday, August 24th. Bye.